A Texas judge has ruled that transgender Americans have no right to not be harassed at work. On Thursday, Trump appointee Judge Matthew Kacsmaryk had issued a ruling declaring that Title VII no longer protects LGBTQ plus people from experiencing workplace discrimination. The Heritage Foundation in the state of Texas had filed a lawsuit to challenge these non-discrimination laws, and unfortunately, in this case, they have won, despite the fact that this decision directly contradicts another of the Supreme Court's, this is the U.S. Supreme Court's landmark 2020 ruling, Bostock v. Clayton County, which held that discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity is, by definition, discrimination on sex. In siding with the plaintiffs, though, Judge Kacsmaryk pointed to the state Texas Department of Agriculture's current employee policy, which requires employees to comply with the dress code in a manner consistent with their biological gender, erasing transgender people, of course, specifying that men may wear pants and women may wear dresses, skirts, or pants. Gee, I wonder when they're going to drop the "or" from that. Don't know. Now, the ruling also upheld the department's policy banning transgender employees from using the restroom that aligns with their own gender identity, and also ruled that Title VII only protects firing somebody simply for being homosexual or transgender, but does not protect transgender or gay people from being harassed on the job. In sum, Title VII does not bar workplace employment policies that protect the inherent differences between men and women. Okay. So they can make policy that discriminates against those groups as long as they can argue that it protects the inherent differences between men and women, which can absolutely vary. See, here's the thing. Sex is not a binary. It is a spectrum. Yes, you may have a vagina, but also Y chromosomes. You may have a penis, but 2 X chromosomes or XXY chromosomes. Yes, your SRY genes, kind of important, okay? And so you also may be intersex or just identify as non-binary. That's it. Which in Texas, by the way, is not going to get you fired, but might make you quit due to some of the harassment you'll get for not fitting in. So, totally fine to harass them until they quit. That's what this allows, okay? Judge Kacsmaryk further argued that disparate treatment of transgender employees does not constitute unequal treatment, saying that a male employee must use male facilities like other males. Note how they seem to always ignore trans men. Trans men grow beards, can be muscular, they take tea, but are biologically female. They can go into women's restrooms? Well, no, they'll be forced to go into women's restrooms. It's funny how they leave that out. Okay. Now, he also extended that logic to dress codes and pronouns, because nothing triggers them more than pronouns, claiming that requiring employees to adhere to clothing standards and pronoun use based on their assigned sex at birth is not discriminatory, because it applies equally to everyone. Oh, you see, it's not discriminatory because you all have to follow the same rule. Hold on here. Wait, what? So, that's weird. Policing people's clothing choices and pronouns. That's what's going on. From the people who complained about pronouns, by the way. You're not allowed to do, to have pronouns. Doesn't make any sense. And look, these arguments also follow the same legal reasoning once used to uphold same-sex marriage bans. Okay? Oh, it's not discrimination because you gays, you can just marry straight people. What? Hold on. Well, straight people can get married to members of the opposite sex, and so can you. So where's the discrimination here? Honestly. Wait, what? No, that doesn't make any sense. It's exclusion, period. And by the way, yes, if you're a woman, you can wear pants, skirts, and dresses, but, if you're assigned male at birth, then your clothing choices are rather limited. Are they not? Only pants for you. Okay. All right. Now, finally, Judge Kacsmaryk has ordered the complete removal of all references to sexual orientation and gender identity as protected classes under Title VII from the EEOC guidance. His ruling declares that all language defining sex in Title VII to include sexual orientation and gender identity must be stripped from federal employment policy. It also targets and nullifies Section 2 of the 2024 EEOC guidance, which states that sex-based discrimination under Title VII includes employment discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity, which of course contradicts Bostock v. Clayton County, which held that Title VII protects LGBTQ+ workers from discrimination. That was a 6-3 decision, by the way. Supreme Court said that firing somebody for being gay or trans is inherently sex-based discrimination and violates federal civil rights laws. Now, I know the case mainly focused on wrongful terminations here, right? But if you can't be fired for being gay or trans because that's discrimination, then why isn't harassment based on those very same things also not considered discrimination? Look, this is nothing more than right-wing judicial activism. That's what this is about, okay? Which is something, by the way, this judge has gotten a reputation for. Remember, he was the one who tried to revoke FDA approval of mifepristone, a safe and widely used abortion medication. He's ruled against LGBTQ+ protections in the ACA. He even tried to force Planned Parenthood to pay $2 billion to Texas and Louisiana. I mean, look, not even the deeply conservative Fifth Circuit agreed with that. They're like, what is this crap? No, we're going to toss that decision out with the garbage. All right. But now he's taken aim at Title VII itself, which invites employers and people who also work at these places to harass and discriminate against their LGBTQ+ workers and co-workers. That is the reality here of what this decision means. And it's, I think, part of the way to try to bully transgender people out of civilian life. That's what this is. They want to erase transgender people. They've already set up, this in the federal government when Trump said that, we don't have, like, trans people don't actually exist. They're not real. There's only two sexes. That's it. They've erased them from policy, and now this is more attempts to erase them from public life. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.